Well, now that my voice is coming back a little bit better here, prepping your block for just a standard rebuild, or if you're going to do it any kind of performance or racing, um, which this is a rebuild. It's going to get raced, but it's not super high performance. This is the 318, the 86 block from, I don't know, it's going to go in a piecemeal there. I got it from the junkyard out of the truck, but just wanted to show you a couple things to prep for and to look at. And one of them here, bring you in closer. One thing you want to do, now I gave this a quick once over, pressure washed it outside, degrease it. Obviously you can see there's still more, but I don't need to go 100% on this yet because it's not ready for its final cleaning yet. We got some cam bearings we got to change that are pretty galled up, so we're going to do the cam bearings in it. That was the one bearing I was hoping I wasn't going to have to mess with, but I do. But look at the casting flash in here. See how jagged? I'm sure you can see this. How jagged this is, especially back here. It's like it was really thin and then they just punched it off, punched it open. Which is probably what it was, it probably casted and had a flash that was a 1/4 inch out or something, and they just ding ding ding. Somebody sitting there with a hammer, ding ding ding, and knocked it out. You gotta dress it down, which you're dressing it up, but you're dressing it down at the same time. But you're gonna want to smooth this off because you go start singing any block. Yeah, man, it's even a good idea if this was just a standard rebuild, just to knock all this flashing down. Because I mean, any engine block, they're designed, they have flex in them. As you start screaming these more RPM or whatnot, or even if you're 4,000 RPM, the block's going to distort and flex. But you got to get rid of this flashing, because this is just pieces of this. If they break off, get down in there, take out a bearing, cam lobe. So that's number one. Knock your flashing down inside the valley here. Clean all this up. Any sharp edges you find, like right here on the side of the block, where the heads bolt up to here, smooth this out. Whether you use your die grinder, which I mean, if you don't got one, fine. You don't need one. But take your die grinder, whatever. Any sharp edge. Cracks like to start at a sharp edge. If it was a slight radius here, crack's not going to start. Take a file. If you don't got a file, well, if you ain't got a die grinder, knock the edge down and go over the whole block like that. One thing else you're going to look for is, if you're going to look for cracks that might be in the block, especially down here, where the main caps go. You're going to want to look on the side of the saddles here. Bring it and show you. Let's see. Side of your bearing saddles here. If anywhere is going to crack, it's going to be down anywhere in this region. I mean, I've seen them here at split where the bolts go in, but I've also seen it down here. If you have any cracks, if you clean this up, generally clean this up, and you find any cracks in here, you might as well find our block. It's junk. You ain't going to fix it. So number one, after you tear it down, you can see I don't have all the seals off. Ugh. Whoa. Because I still got to clean everything up here. I just broke it down and wanted to quick give it a hose off so I can see what I'm working with here before I go any farther in the block. But you're going to want to look down here at your saddles, make sure there's no cracks at all. you know, before you go send this off to the machine shop or you go doing anything else, it's one thing you want to look for. Check for cracks. You know, it wouldn't be a bad idea to quick give a light hone inside the cylinders here. I don't recommend the dingle ball hone. The straight leg hones, I think, are better, because then you're not going to cover up any imperfections inside the cylinder bore, you know, with a straight leg hone. But it wouldn't be a bad idea. Give the block a quick basic hone, you know, a couple passes, you know, 4 or 5 passes, whatever, up to 10 passes, whatever you want to do, just to clean it up. And then you can make sure the cylinder bores don't have no cracks in as well. But back to the sharp edges here. I mean, you can see the thrust. The thrust doesn't have a sharp edge up here, but the bottom lip on the underside here does. And if you would actually catch your finger right, I swear that's going to cut you. So knock that down. Your main caps here, stay off of your bearing mating surface here, where the cap bolts to. Leave that alone. Take your file, whatever file you want to use, you know, bigger file, smaller file, whatever. Just dress down this edge right here, because that is super, super sharp. Take your time, and it doesn't take much. You're not taking a bunch of material off of this here. All you're trying to do is just take that really, really sharp edge off. But you can go over everything in here. Where the pan bolts up to here on this lip, press that lip down, and you know, if it's sharp. What else I want to go over? Your core plugs here. Let me get the pin in here. There we go. Your core plugs. Change these out. Don't even take the chance with them that you think they're going to be good. Let me punch one of them out for you. Core plugs, freeze plug, expansion plugs, they're core plugs. A lot of people call them different things, but they're actually core plugs. Here we go. As I said, swap out your core plugs here. I mean, you can see on the back side of this one, it's starting to corrode at the edge. It's not terrible. It probably would have been okay, but look at the rust on the outside edge here. So we're going to clean this up, but there's two purposes of this. Number one, so it ain't going to leak. It's not going to leak on you later down the road. And number two, the other good reason is so you can get down here inside the cooling passages. See, look, that one's a little bit worse. So you can get down here inside the cooling passages, get that out of the way, and you can scrape around. You can see the bores here, the inside of the board, but you'll be able to get a screwdriver and, you know, get yourself a coat hanger. You know, if you got a rifle cleaning kit, as you start pulling all these plugs out, and you can scrape around and knock everything loose so everything can get cleaned up the right way. And I'm going to show you, I want to show you some of what is in there. Now, nothing's really going to fall out. I haven't really gone digging around yet. But let me get to the other side here. There we go. Put my pin in so I don't lose it. But look at some of what's down inside the cooling passages. You see the chunks? This, you gotta take care of this. So as you knock everything out, I mean, this is A lot of that's actually casting flash right there. But there is corrosion. That's right there. So when I actually get out the die grinder here, or the file, you see the stuff that's coming off of that. I'm going to dress that down and clean that out. Like I said, a couple things to look for. Like I said, swap out, get rid of the core plugs, get them out of there. You see on the front, the ones that are on the back, punch them out. A set of them, not too much. New ones, if you can get the brass ones, go ahead. This is actually just an old set I had laying around. But look, made in USA, HUN USA. Well, these were actually made in USA, Federal Mogul. But I've had these laying around for a while. Kind of a set of them. But if you can afford to get the brass ones, or if you're going through and your engine block already has the brass ones in it, leave those alone. Don't even mess with them. The brass ones do not corrode like these steel ones do, the factory ones. So unless you see that it's weeping or it wasn't installed right, they're going to be fine. One other thing. As we go through and we clean up everything on here, you're going to want to check any bolt holes. I just want to spin that. There we go. Any of your bolt holes, especially if you get the block decked, you're going to end up with a real sharp lip there, and you might have to knock that down, chamfer it down. But also, one good thing to check out is make sure they're all equal. Like this one right here, I just want to show you here. I want to make sure they're all the same. Like this one, I could show you here. There actually is a slight variance in this block. This one right here, you can see that one sits all the way down to the deck. That's to the deck. I'm trying to look in the camera here. Now look at this one. See the space that one has? That one is not all the way to the deck. So that's why you want to check these, because you might end up with one that is not tapped as far as the rest. And especially if you got this thing decked, you're going to want to make sure, if anything's got to be retapped, you're going to want to do that. Check, get an idea what your depth is on all of them. Because if any of them got to be chased out or tapped, like I said, a little bit farther, now is going to be the time to do it, so that you don't have a failing head gasket later on. Some of the other stuff you could do, like, can you see? I don't know if you can see how bad the casting flash is right here. I'm probably going to knock that down. Anywhere there's an issue. I mean, if you're wondering why this block looks like this is a pre-roller block. It wasn't a roller motor. Hydraulic flat tap it in a year or two or whatever is when they switched over. This block is an 86, so has provisions for it, for the girdle and stuff, but this one does not have it, which I'm fine with that. I'm just going to keep this one, hydraulic flat tap it. This bonehead's still got the mounts on, and dipstick tube. I'll take care of that later. I'm going to pull them off. I actually have this on here because I can hook up here with the tractor, and it's easier for me just to move this all around everywhere I need to go, because I'm not cleaning it out. Obviously, I'm not pressure washing or nothing in the barn here. So I left these on just because it helps me move it around. Because I don't care what anybody says, you go taking one of these engine hoists out there and you drag that on the ground in the grass, it does not slide. They dig in and it wants to flip over and everything else, so I don't want to take that chance. Any oil passages, like I said, drain back passages, get a small wire brush, well, get a small brush, rifle brush, whatever you need. If you got some furnace cleaning stuff, they got some small brushes with them, you know, that you can go through and you can get in any passage. That's got plugs in it, but you can get in any passage and scrape and clean up and just get the gunk out, so you'll have good oiling. And whatever you get out of the cooling passages, one other thing you can do along with scraping, right now not a whole lot will come out, but you can tap around the outside of the block. You know, you can get on the outside here. Don't go wailing on, like right now, lots are probably not going to come out because I have this wet. I was hosing everything out, but it will help to break any big chunks or whatnot down inside the cooling passages. It'll help them get out. So I said she's got a ways to go before she comes together here, but looks like it's going to storm like a fiend. But I just wanted to give you a quick video here. Some things to look at, some things to do that'll just help hopefully help your engine last a little longer. I didn't go through showing you all the tear down. I probably won't go through and show you building it up either. Nobody wants to see me sitting here going over bolts and checking bolts, and maybe I'll come back and I'll give you a couple little tidbits, but I don't know how much I'll actually show you. It depends what you just want to see. Well, I think that's all I got for you today here. Just want to show you a couple little tidbits on a block here just to help you out. Hopefully you found something semi-useful for it. Hopefully I helped you out a little bit. Man, we got a lot of cleanup to do. But, well, I'm going to catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching, and as always, give a like, subscribe, share, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. I'm sure I'm probably missing something that I wanted to say, but I forgot to say. So if you think of anything, let me know. It might have been something I forgot to tell you about. So thanks for watching.